Hello, I'm LCpl Angus, and today we're going to be taking you through Echo Barracks, room 660, Bravo. We're going to show you how to field day your room in Echo Barracks. First, we're going to enter. First thing we're going to check is the common areas. Good way to make sure you're getting everything is just start from the top and go down. So today we're going to start up here. You definitely want to dust up here. Make sure there's nothing dust up there. Got some smell good going up there. Open up your cabinets. Make sure everything's organized. You don't want any stains in here whatsoever. Make sure these are nice and clean. You don't want any spots, stains. Make sure everything's organized, like I said. Open up your microwave. There shouldn't be any food stains whatsoever inside there. You want to make sure that there's no water spots, anything rotten. Obviously, no mold. Up here should all be dusted. You can actually pull your microwave out. Make sure it's all clean in there. There shouldn't be any spots, any dust anywhere. You want to make sure your sink is spotless. There's no water spots. You check right here for dust. All along there, no dust. You want to check up here on these fixtures. You'll get gunk and crap stuck in there. Make sure there's nothing up there, dust. We'll move down here to the fridge. You pull out your fridge. You want to check back there. That back there is a definite area that gets real dirty. So make sure you don't have anything nasty going on back there. Check the top of your fridge. Make sure there's no dust. Slide it back in. Maybe. Open it up. This freezer tray fills up with water. You need to empty that often. Make sure that's empty. Make sure you don't have any built up ice up here. Make sure there's no spots, water spots, dust, anything in here. Make sure it's plugged in. Even if you're not using it, plug it in, put it on the lowest setting. Check this area right here. Make sure there's no gunk stuck up in there. Check the face. Organized, nice and clean. Your floor, check the corners. You don't want any dust buildup in your corners. You don't want any spots on the floor. Anything that'll come up. If you have any kind of scratches or discrepancies, make sure you note it. When you come over here, we're going to start with the door. Make sure you dust these edges. Make sure there's no dust up here, any ledge you see. You want to make sure you do not have dust. And we'll move along. You have your vent up here. Make sure there's no dust up here, no dust down here. All these different ledges you got to check. Check up here. Check your mirror. Make sure there's no spots. When you have stuff like your dehumidifier out here, make sure you can move it and there's nothing there. It's nice and clean. Put everything back. Make sure it all looks organized when you do put it back. You want your floor to be nice and clean. No specks, dirt, nothing crazy. Make sure your walls looking good. You don't want any spots. Sometimes you spill a drink and it'll splash onto the wall. Make sure that's all clean. You don't want any scuff marks anywhere. Move into the bathroom. I usually like to start all the way over here and work my way top to bottom. So you check your ceiling, make sure there's no like yellow mold spots or anything like that. You work your way down. Make sure there's no scuffs, marks, mold, anything that's not white, obviously, you should be working on trying to get it clean. Make sure these are nice and shiny looking. You don't want any mold whatsoever. If you got mold on your shower curtain, that's bad. You want to make sure it's clean. Make sure you have bleach to get rid of the mold if it does accumulate. You want to check these corners as you go down. Make sure they're clean back here. Make sure behind the toilet everything's getting clean back there. You don't want anything gross going on back here. Make sure everything along your rim is clean. No stains, no scuffs, no urine spots. Everything looks good. Make sure your trash is empty, obviously. Make sure your corners are good. A lot of times you'll get dirt built up inside of these cracks. Make sure you get that all cleaned out. Check your ceiling up here. Sometimes you get buildup along these cracks, along here. Always check these edges for dust, all your different edges. Make sure this thing's dusted well. These corners build up dust pretty easily. Sink's clean, everything's shiny. Make sure everything's organized, nice and neat. Down here, a lot of times people forget about under the sink. Shit gets really messy and dirty down there. So you want to make sure you get that really clean. Down here in this corner, gets real dirty. Over here, you want to make sure stuff's nice and organized, and even back deep in there, you still got organization and cleanliness. Stuff will start to grow back there if you don't take care of it. You close this door. Make sure you get this ledge. Make sure your iron is clean and your iron holder, everything's clean. Like this edge right here, make sure it's clean. This corner back there, big corner. You gotta make sure you get your corners. Big spots where dirt builds up. We'll head over here. Make sure your floor in your bathroom's clean as well. Come over here to the room. I usually like to start on this side and work my way this way, but working bottom to top again. So a good thing you can get as far as up as you can get dust wise. Don't do anything crazy. Don't hurt yourself trying to get up there and cause any kind of safety violation. Make sure you're doing everything safe if you're reaching up in high places. Make sure there's no dust along here. You want to check for dust on these edges. Make sure they're clean. Make sure your windows are clean. Make sure these are clean without dust. You want your blinds at half mast and your curtains all the way open. That's the setting for those. Make sure back here behind your bed or any cracks where you could have dirt buildup and maybe not get a vacuum, move your bed out, clean it, put it back, make sure everything's nice and clean. Make sure your desk is dusted off, nice and clean. Check your walls, make sure there's no scuffs, anything like that. Vacuum the whole floor very well. Any objects that you have out must be clean as well. So if you don't want to clean them, stick them in your wall locker and then you don't have to worry about them. But anything that is out is inspectable, so make sure it's clean. Make sure your trash is taken out. Check back here for your corner for dirt. Dust along here. Make sure you get the dust off of here. Dust off of the top of your fridge and the picture right here. Make sure you check behind your bed for any unwanted dust or dirt. Make sure your fridge is clean. Once it's set, like I said earlier, check the tray. Make sure the tray is empty. Check along this lip right here. Make sure it's clean. You don't want any dirt buildup in there. That's definitely a hit. Dust the top of it. You want to keep your rack nice and tight. Your rack is obviously 18 inches of wide, so you got 12 inches here, 6 inches here. Make sure it's nice and tight, crisp. Make sure you don't have any spots whatsoever on your pillow or on the sheets. When you come over here, make sure it's nice and tight. This thing, you want it nice and folded, nice, without any excess folds or creases. Make sure you dust your bed as well, your rack. And finally, after you're done dusting everything, vacuum everything on your floor, make sure everything's good, spray your smell good, and you're good to go.